Unfortunately, I don't know you personally. I'm not familiar with your dreams or your problems. But fortunately for you, I don't need to be, because the ideas we'll be talking about on these cassettes are fundamentals to the art of winning. They will help you achieve your most inspiring dreams, guaranteed. They are, in fact, the 7 fundamentals for wealth and happiness. As we go through these cassettes, you'll see very clearly for yourself just how these ideas can start making a major difference in your life right away. Where did these fundamentals come from? I didn't make them up. I first discovered them when I was 25 years old, at a time in my life when I needed some new ideas to help change the direction of my life. I wasn't destitute at the time, but I certainly needed some help. I guess we could all use a little help at age 25. Let me take a minute to tell you how it happened. I had gotten off to a great start in life. I was raised in farm country in Idaho, a small community of about 5,000 people, not far from the Snake River in the southwest corner of the state, a great place to grow up. In fact, my parents still live in this small farm community. My father is 82 years old, my mother 75. And they are still healthy and doing very well, as active now as they have ever been. I'm very proud of them, and they have always been a great example for me. After graduating from high school, I went to 1 year of college, and then I decided I was smart enough, so I quit, which was one of my major mistakes. Among many major mistakes I made in those early days. But I was ambitious and willing to work hard, and figured I wouldn't have any trouble getting a job, which turned out to be accurate. So with a head full of dreams and ambitions, I started my first job. About 3 years later, I got married, made lots of promises, worked hard, and a couple of years later started a family. And at age 25, I started taking a new look at my life. My weekly paycheck amounted to the grand total of $57. I was far behind on my promises, behind on my bills, and discouraged. I was far from making the progress I thought I should have made. I was willing to work hard. That was not my problem. But it was clear that it was going to take more than hard work. And I didn't want to wind up at age 60 broke, needing assistance, like so many people I saw around me, not in the richest country in the world. So what do you do to change the direction of your life? I thought, well, I should go back to school. 1 year of college doesn't look that good on an application. But now with my family starting, going back to school seemed like a tough decision. I didn't have any money to start my own business. Money was one of my problems. I always had far too much month left over at the end of the money, if you've ever been in that position. I remember one time losing $10, and I was physically ill for 2 days over a $10 bill. Some of my friends tried to be cheerful. They said, look, maybe some poor person who needed it found it. But that was not really helpful. I must admit at that time in my life, benevolence had not yet seized me. I was the person who needed to find $10, not lose 10. So that's where I was at that time in my life, behind on my dreams, and constantly wondering what I could possibly do to change my life for the better. 5 simple, basic fundamentals of ideas to ponder and think about that will increase your value to the marketplace, could perhaps, like it did for me, multiply your income by 2, and then multiply it by 3, and then multiply your income by 4, and then by 5. And once you get there, it's not that difficult to multiply it by 10, because all you have to do is make sure you become more valuable and more valuable and more valuable. You don't have to work on the economy, because here's the first note. Each person's income is determined primarily by their philosophy, not by the economy. Once I understood that, then I said, well, I don't have to go to work on the economy. And the answer was no. You only have to go to work on yourself to make yourself more valuable. So now here's 5 things I want to share with you. And the first one is your personal philosophy. What could get you more prepared and ready for cashing in on the opportunity of the 21st century? And here's the first one, personal philosophy. Your personal philosophy is like a guidance system that helps you make decisions what to do, what not to do. From the information you get and what you learn and what you know, we decide. Maybe your philosophy would have been 5 years ago never to attend seminars like this. You just didn't go. Now 5 years later, here you are. Something happened along the way to change your mindset, saying, hey, for the money and the time, if I just get one good idea and walk away, it certainly is worth the money and the time. So now that little amendment in your philosophy, you now say, I'm going to regularly go, because it doesn't take but a few ideas to make a great difference in your income, personal life, social life, and all the rest. So now you know that's valuable. A change of mind, a change of idea. So that's what personal philosophy is all about. The more we learn, the more we know, the better we're able to make better decisions.
You have to be prepared to take any and every opportunity that's presented to you. All right, nothing's just going to happen. You know, everybody say it's all on you. It is all on you. There's other people that can educate you and help you, but you take these different experiences that you learn that stick with you. I mean, you may not remember a whole lot when you were 4 years old, but there's certain memories, there's certain things. You can use them to either harness you to greatness, or you can use them to kind of just keep you where you're at. And most people are just satisfied with at. There's always a next level. Your definition of greatness and what you want to achieve could be totally different than somebody else's. You know, we always say no one wants to be first, okay, because they're afraid of the consequences that come with doing something first. You know, we go to Michael Jordan. Everyone, when Michael Jordan took over the Charlotte team, okay, everyone says he's a failure. Well, how can you be a failure when you're the first professional athlete to own a majority of a franchise team? You can't be a failure. You're the first to do something. If you're the first to do something, you can't be listed as a failure. I wanted to be the first to do something, and that was to work with high-end professional athletes.
People always complain that, why can't I ever get that? And these people complain, I can never get a job. You're going to be stressed no matter what. Focus on the thing that you're getting, because that's the choice you made, right? I'd much rather you focus on the thing you are pursuing rather than the thing you're missing. And so this idea of affirmative thinking, positive thinking, is essential for all people, but I think it's especially essential for artists. And there's a very, very simple biological reason for it, which is the human brain cannot comprehend the negative. It is incapable. Yes, it's true. I'll give you an example.
I believe you.
Okay? No, I'll give you an example. You don't have to believe me. I'll prove it. I'll prove it. Okay? The human brain cannot comprehend the negative. You ready? Don't think of an elephant. Yeah, I know. You can't tell the human brain not to do something, right? And so what happens is we very often reinforce things when we put things in the negative, right? I can't get apart. I can't get apart. I can't get apart, right? Or I can't do this versus I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing this, right? And it's such a huge thing to convert things into the affirmative. You're supposed to do it with children as well. We're supposed to say, instead of saying to children, don't eat on the couch, we're supposed to say, eat at the table. Right? We tell people what we want them to do, not what we don't want to do. Pilots know this, right? It is well known in the pilot community that when you tell a pilot, don't hit the obstacle, they'll hit the obstacle. Because what they're doing is focusing on the obstacle.
The concept of improving lives runs through the center of everything I do. And then I realized that the way to improve lives is to continually improve yourself, right? So with that, every morning when I get out of the bed, you know, I haven't fixed everything in the world yet, so there's always something to do. And in this film, I read an interesting quote. The Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, he said that good people have to get out of the bed every day and try to empty the ocean with a ladle, right? And I thought that was, you know, I knew that was profound, and I paused for a second. And I said, all right, what the hell is a ladle, right? Right, so then, I touched it on my iPad, it's ladle. Oh, it's like a big spoon, okay.
As we
it's
say,
like a
Philly.
soup spoon, yeah, it's like a soup spoon. I was like, why are you a soup spoon? So trying to empty the ocean with a soup spoon, as the mentality of how you wake up every day to try to do good in the world. So for me, I'm really driven by continually trying to elevate my mind and elevate my spirit and care for my body, and to be able to love as many people as effectively as possible with this mystery of life that I've been given.
In a world of business, there are two different types of contacts you'll make. Here's what I mean by it. There's the types of contacts you'll make that'll give you referrals, that'll give you good sale, good opportunity. You'll be given a good referral. Maybe you'll make $600 on a sale, or $300 or $100 or $500 or $800. And it's cool. It was a good contact you made. Either they're buying from you or they're introducing you to somebody that's going to buy from you. And then there are people you're going to meet and make contact with that could completely change the face of your business, change the face of your bank account. The reaction of the banker when you go to deposit a check, because the banker looks at you and does a double take. It's one of these things. Hi, how are you? Great. I'd like to make a deposit. Okay, no problem. Hi, Mr. Jones. It's a different look you get. You know why? Here's the look. The look is a look of a person who is super prepared and they don't wing it anymore. This is what I mean by when I say two different types of contacts. You see, you can wing it with every contact you meet and just kind of treat it and put it in your account and follow up and do all that other stuff. Then you can meet a person that can completely change your life, your business. And that one contact requires you to do more research. You can't wing that contact. You can't copy paste the message and send it on Facebook or LinkedIn and make a mistake and accidentally call somebody Tom that was Mr. Jones. And Mr. Jones was going to be your biggest account. And Mr. Jones is so impressed by you because you actually research what Mr. Jones does, what Mr. Jones likes, what Mr. Jones is interested in, and what rubs Mr. Jones the wrong way. And when you don't pay attention to details like that with contacts that are here, and they have a lot more to offer than 300 of these contacts combined together, you lose. And the reason why you lost is because you try to wing your way to the next level, and contacts at this level are not fools. They expect you to know what you're doing. They expect you to put that additional energy into it. They expect you to not wing yourself to the level of doing business with them. They are insulted by your lack of research and your lack of putting effort into it. So this is my challenge to you. This week, whatever you do, ask yourself, am I winging it? Or am I going a little bit above and beyond? Am I winging it just because I'm trying to wing it with my talent? Or I'm trying to really do what a 1% or a 0.1% would do in this game? And every time you catch yourself, adjust and ask, what would the 0.1% be doing in this same exact situation? And whatever it is, adjust to that.
People came to my website because they were interested in, well, before the political stuff blew up, I had 1 million views on YouTube, which is nothing. 1 million of anything is a lot. But then when the political scandal started to break, then people came for them but stayed for the content, and that's been really useful. Well, it's been well, and it's not that surprising. Well, because of what you do, it's like there's a great hunger for information that is practical and useful and that helps people find meaning in their lives and orient themselves. There's a great hunger for that, and most of my lectures were derived from solid psychology, some of it experimental, some of it biological, some of it from the domains of neuroscience, a lot of it from great clinicians. It's not surprising that people find it helpful because, great clinicians were great because they were really helpful. And so to distill that and to offer it to people in a digestible form, to have that have a good effect on them, well, that's what you'd expect. That's what the whole discipline is about. And so that's been great.